I came in 1956 when there was no political science department. There was, however, a Center for International Studies that was the first international affairs enterprise that I think MIT had engaged in, at least as far as education and research goes. So it was an exciting thing to be involved in the early stage of that center. I came as assistant to the director of the Center for International Studies, who was an economist named Max Millikan, member of the economics department here, and a fine guy. The office was right across the way in the Sloan Building. One of the things I remember most was my arrival to my interview when I didn't even know that a job existed, to be met at the reception desk by a man whose name I later learned was Jimmy Kelleher, a Boston Irishman, who was wearing a pistol and guarding the entrance where a number of researchers were at work. And that turned out to be a consequence of the fact that the center's work was being financed both by the Ford Foundation and by the Central Intelligence Agency in Washington. So that required the pistol. But that was a very first impression, and the real point, the real profit in that interview was that I began to know Max Millikan, who was the director of the center at that time, and a fine man. And I spent the first years of my MIT career working for him and with him and others in the development of the center.